Okay. Hi, I'm JH.
Hi, I'm Kyle Van Meter, President of FCHS.
And I'm Vice President of FCHS, and we're here for the Round Barn Podcast. So today we're going to be looking at discussing the museum as a whole. We've had a big year, a lot of changes.
Yeah, we really did change several things last year. Several new board members, and annex of the Tomball Institute out there, and we've really done a lot.
And starting some new programs out there, new events. Was it Round Barn Days that we're having?
Round Barn Days coming up in August.
Yeah. So we're working on a bunch of changes to the Trail of Courage event. We've got representatives from the Cherokee Nation coming up. A couple Cherokee ambassadors will be joining us this year.
Yeah, that's exciting with all the Cherokee heritage we have in this area to actually have them coming up here.
Yeah, it's kind of oddly surprising how much Cherokee heritage is in this area, actually. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. We got changes in the museum. So we've got a whole new administration in there.
Yeah, I became president a year ago, and you became vice president.
Yeah.
And we've got 8 new board members in the last year.
Yeah, which is kind of humorous because I'd always heard that, you can't get board members for this. And it's like, ta-da, we got a whole new board.
It was entertaining.
Yeah,
And then,
to be polite.
We got the Tomball. John Tomball passed away and was able to bring that into the organization.
Yeah, I'm not sure many people know about the Tomball, because I know when I joined the board, I heard you guys talk about it, but I never really clicked till I actually met John, and then we went out and took a look at it.
Yeah, that's a rather interesting place out there. It's at Wagner Park. I took you out there, got all that military memorabilia, the books. He was an interesting character and donated all the ground and all the memorabilia and inside the facility to the museum once he passed away.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars worth of
phenomenal
stuff.
It's, for a private collection, it's just amazing. I mean, he's even got the lighthouse from
lighthouse that used to be at the Culver Academy.
Yeah.
And there's a Japanese flag that's still bloodstained from Okinawa.
Yeah.
That was rather creepy, really.
Yeah, and since his passing, Jerry out there, he's now got it. So we've got like a fairly distinct American Civil War area, Spanish-American War area, World War I, World War II. They've got an amazing paleo display that he's put together up in there. Not to mention the trench art, the models. It's just astounding.
That trench art, them guys needed something to keep themselves out of shell shock. That was for sure.
Yeah. It's
got that helmet that the German soldier was wearing when he took a bullet.
Mm-hmm.
Got letters out there from Abraham Lincoln to Grant. Everything's in databases.
Oh, God. Yeah, and if somebody's studying like the Civil War, the book series of letters they have out there are just astounding. It's definitely something to take a look at.
It's worth a trip out there.
Yeah.
It's only 10 minutes from Rochester. It's not that far away.
And there's bombs and guns for those who like small words.
Yes, I know. I like small words.
And if you can find the RPG, I'll give you $5, but that's beside the point. So, no, that's awesome, Tomball Center. And we've got Redbud coming up, but of course it's one of our, for myself, is one of my favorite events that we have out there, and it's also, of course, heavily weather dependent.
We usually call it the weather bud.
Yeah.
Because one of the 2 days it is going to be bad weather.
Yep.
One year we had 3 inches of snow.
Yeah.
Now, is your group, the Kievskis Diaspora, are they going to be there this year?
We'll be getting ready for our big event, but we'll have part of our Moldavsky Hussars will be there to do a little program for you and Belinda to review. And we'll have guys there. We're planning on bringing one of the cannons out.
Now, what is the Pazars?
The Hussars?
Yeah.
It's a light cavalry group.
So you got horses you're bringing out.
Yeah.
Show us what's going on for people that like small words and American.
True. Yeah, no, it's cavalry horses, so they're planning on bringing 2 of the horses out for this.
And I got a hold of Carrie, I can't even think of her last name now, but
Paul and Carrie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the 4th Massachusetts, so the Fife and Drum Corps is going to be out there again.
Good. I know when I talked to the guys from the 42nd Pipe Band, who will be coming back at Trail, we've got a lot of neat stuff, of course, that's coming up with Trail. They were discussing possibly coming up. I haven't gotten confirmation yet, but they'd been talking with Carrie and Paul, and we're talking about coming up and getting a chance to play together again. Knock the rust off. Plus, they're just right down the road in Lafayette, so it's an easy run up.
Yeah, it's only an hour drive now that they put in new 24.
Yeah.
Then hopefully we get the guys to come in for the knife and hawk throw.
Yeah, that'll be a fun thing to add, a little bit more activity.
Then I'll be out there at 4 o'clock in the morning starting fires for the ham and beans and beef stew.
Yeah.
That's a weekend I love coming around.
It's plenty of good food. Kind of comes in handy.
Yeah. Then Maggie and Molly with their chocolates and confections, homemade candies.
Yeah,
they're going to be there.
They'll be in the old
They'll
store,
be in
won't
the
they?
old general store.
Yeah. Now, weren't we discussing something about the jailhouse, or do we know if that's going on?
Yeah, we're going to try to see if we can't put something in the jailhouse and maybe be able to get old-time photographs taken of people being in the old-timey jail.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Then it's
That'd
going to
be
cost
fun.
you to get them back out of jail.
Well, don't tell my guys that, because I'll be locked up in there before I know it.
No, I can't say it. I'd blame them.
You got so much love. So cool. Redbud, Tomball.
And, out there at FCHS had Boy Scouts repainted I can't remember his name, but he completely redid the outside of the train depot last
Good.
year. Sanded it, repainted it. Once it warms up and we paint the front door, it'll be looking brand new again.
Good. That's something we know as we're looking at this. If there are train enthusiasts who have interest out there, we'd like to actually be able to get a train display set up in there, in the depot, and ideally highlighting the train stops in Fulton County that used to be here.
Well, and then we have that print shop over there with all the equipment in it.
Oh yeah, it's ready to go.
If
That's
anybody
another
could-
one.
I'd love to find somebody that could go in there and tell us how to run that thing to where we could print our own little postcards and
Yeah.
have something going on right there. That would be, I'd be ecstatic if anybody knew how to run those old-timey printing presses. Speaking of volunteers,
So-
we got those lights we have had purchased for years to hang outside so we can light up the parking lot. If anybody is interested in helping on that.
Well, we've had an interesting thing when this administration started, was the realization that our volunteer body had eroded.
Well, I
And
don't.
so now
They
we're working
eroded,
on-
but a lot of them are over the age of 70 now and don't feel like climbing ladders. And
So eroded.
well, valid point.
So as we're trying to move forward with this, or actually we're not trying, we are, as we're moving forward with getting the facility back up to being a destination for the region, we're always looking for volunteers that have interest in helping out and spend anything from an hour a month to however much, working whatever their strengths are.
Even if just people want to get out of the house just to sit behind the desk there at the museum, just to welcome anybody that walks in.
Yeah,
You don't have to do any actual physical labor.
yeah.
Just be happy to have people around, just to have somebody to talk to instead of just Peggy and Melinda all the time.
Yeah. Oh, buildings and ground schedule.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the neat things that you guys have put together, I've really come to appreciate, is that you've got the buildings and ground schedule set up where you've actually got set projects that you're accomplishing each time. rather
we're
than
trying
just
to.
A random, hey, show up and.
Yeah, it tends to actually get something accomplished when people have a general idea.
Yeah.
Other than a bunch of monkeys running around with a mop going, what do I do now, George?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's been great watching the items get knocked off of the buildings and grounds list, seeing that actually get whittled down.
It gets entertaining. Yeah, because we're going to have to be doing maintenance on the windows of a lot of those buildings since they were built in the 1800s, early 1900s. They're needing reglazed and a lot of work there. Anybody wants to Mickey Mouse around with that and help out, we can.
Yeah, a lot
We
of.
got Larry Landis and Joe Butler that are taking that on, and they're a pretty good tag team together, getting stuff knocked off one by one.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity to volunteer out there at the park, and it's something that has a benefit also. I mean, that's if I remember right, if you volunteer enough, then you get like reduced or free access to this trail.
Yeah, if you volunteer to, work at or before trail to help get ready, you and your family get in for free up to 5 people. As long as you get plenty of hours in,
Yeah.
which doesn't take a whole lot because I'm more willing to pay you to come and help than run you off.
I thought it was really neat last year going into trail. That was the smoothest camp setup I think I've ever seen, and we had a record camp as far as people who were just camping there for interps or whatever. So we had a record-sized camp. That was awesome. I loved how what was normally a 3 or 4 day mowing project you took out in like 12 minutes.
Well, when you show up with a 10-foot disc bind and you're mowing at 12 mile an hour, that is the first time in my life I've ever had people cheering at the side of a field for me to mow.
Oh yeah, my guys were loving it when they saw you come flying down through. They just all stopped and they're like, "This is so awesome."
I guess it did beat the heck out of the 22-inch push mower you guys had sitting there.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Although Abby was kind of annoyed she wouldn't get to play with her zero turn, but nonetheless, the big thing was not getting it set up efficiently.
Because Kevin McClellan, he comes in, gets the hay made, gets it out of there, and then gets that little bit of regrowth, just afraid of somebody walking out there, getting their toe caught, going down, and then you got a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a new one. Never been cheered on while mowing hay. Been cussed a few times, but never cheered.
Well, again, those guys have seen. They have spent, over the last several years, they've spent a lot of hours cleaning up before the event, a lot of hours helping set up the event, and they had just commented on how quick and easily the setup was going this year, or last year, when you came flying through with the mower and just started knocking it down. And that push towards efficiency is greatly appreciated, because for an event like this to go off and for it to draw the money for the site, we have to have the efficiency in getting it set up.
And with the bigger camp last year, the more vendors, the more interpretive stuff, we are one of few sites in all of the region that were actually making money off of this.
Oh, yeah.
We are one of very few that actually put money in the bank at the end of the year instead of going, how do we go on next year?
Yeah. And we're working, and if you keep watching from the outside, we are working to get like Trail of Courage back to being a destination event.
Yeah, because it used to be, it was Trail of Courage,
Feast the Hunter's Moon, Mississinawa.
Mississinawa. Yeah.
So those were your 3 big fall events, and people you brought people in from all over the country for that. And
you were telling me you're amazed after doing this for 40 years, all the people that got their start right out here at FCHS.
Oh, yeah. That's a common thing I keep running across when I go to these different organizational meetings, is someone going, "Oh, yeah, I started at FC. That was my first event," or "That's where my wife and I met," or "That's where, whatever." And I have to sit there and chuckle because I'm looking around trying to remember, okay, I'm 53, you're 60. I think I can picture you not 60. Did we run across each other back in the day?
The only thing I remember from back then was going down to the Jacksons and getting barbecue.
Yeah.
And then the Jacksons would come up to the Mount Hope booth and get the donut holes for a penny a piece, and their mother would send them with 1 penny to go get one. They'd go back and get another penny, and it was just back and forth all day because she was tired of them driving her nuts.
Yeah. No, the Jacksons, that used to be a thing for us that we'd actually gotten to where we didn't take food to trail because we were going to eat at the Jacksons the whole time. And then the year they stopped, we were all caught flat-footed because we show up and there's no Jacksons. It's like, what the heck? But
Yeah,
now we've got, now we're doing the applesauce, and my guys are doing that apple sausage booth, and that's been working well for us.
Yeah, they got that turkey and noodles down there. And last year they handed me a squash pie, and I can't remember what the other type of pie was. They were both pretty dang good, and they told me to ask which woman, tell which woman had the better piece of pie.
Oh, that's a problem. That's dangerous.
Well, I told him it depended on what mood I was in.
That works. That works. Well, then we've got the Buffalo Burger booth. We got the smoked duck going on down there.
Everybody shows up for the apple dumplings.
Yeah, yeah.
And Danny Tyler and his family, they're doing the potato chip booth.
Yeah.
You got
Who are the blacksmiths down there?
got the Masons doing pancake and sausage and in the morning for breakfast, and they got loin for lunch and tenderloin sandwiches for lunch, and you got the Rotary Club do smoked pork chops.
Ooh, that
yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, we just over at our booth, we just opened up to doing. Last year was the first year we did biscuits and gravy, sausage gravy,
That was pretty good.
all day, because we kept having people request that. So we just went ahead and left that open all day. And that was good. I really appreciated that.
And then you got the McClellan family. They're venison chili and their fry bread. That's good stuff there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
it's-
walk away from this event hungry, that's your fault. It's not ours.
And hopefully we're able to get grants in place and make this grow even more than it has been. We get this stuff taken care of, possibly get Wi-Fi so all of our vendors can use credit card readers this fall. That would be quite a accomplishment.
Well, that's one of the things that in the overhaul, some of the stuff we're doing isn't necessarily going to be that evident on the outside, but there's a lot of work in the background working to get things like electric down through the property, getting the Wi-Fi down through the property, taking the event, even though it's oldie timey, but bringing it to the 21st century, because that's where a lot of the vendors and such have already gone, and we need to do that in order to make it so it's someplace they want to go.
Yeah, majority of people don't carry cash anymore, and right now we're a cashless or a cash-only facility.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can actually get this brought into the 1990s and maybe even to the 2020 by some point.
I'm hoping 2025. Please, 2020.
And then, had Kent Sear came in from Michigan Tech, kind of giving us ideas of how to set up the display area there in the museum. And he went out to Tom Boss Center and come up with some ideas.
Yeah, because that's in looking at, the displays there at the museum, they were great for 1980 whatever, or 1990 whatever. But we've got options and opportunities to actually upgrade it, and again help make the museum actually, not just look, what's the word, kind of cluttered,
Flea markety,
but actually have it looking like an actual museum that's actually telling the story of Fulton County, because you can get in there and get lost on how is this relevant to Fulton County.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people in this area that have donated stuff out there, and you can't hardly find it because there's so much stuff.
Yeah.
And I appreciate being able to walk in and see everything, but when you're starting to stack dolls and stuff on top of each other, it just starts to become a cluttered mess. And
I think my favorite is, how many creamers do we have? Is it 6 or 7?
if you count the one that has the mailbox on it, we have 9.
We have 9. So
nine cream separators.
Gotcha. So hopefully
we don't really need another one.
Yeah.
If anybody wants one.
No, but that's one of the things we're also been looking at, expanding the storage, just because we need to reroute everything moved around, and then be able to have focal displays that come up from time to time that cycle through regularly, so you can actually see, here is, we have 10 billion dolls. Here's the doll collection, and you can actually see the whole thing for 3 or 4 months.
Since I've become president and actually been paying attention to what's in the museum, I had no clue that there is actually a baby bottle collecting society.
Oh.
I had no clue. I go into Melinda, I said, what the heck are all these baby bottles doing here? Well, I can't remember the lady's name. Said she donated them from her collection because there's an entire society that has annual conventions for the collection of baby bottles. I had no idea.
Maybe we should see if we could host them.
Well, possibly.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Because Nehi used to be right down here at Kokomo. Mm-hmm. All you had to do was slap a rubber nipple on there, and there's your bottle. And, every redneck child from the 1960s had an E-high.
But yeah, so lots of good stuff.
Yeah, we had a plan. And this is like Mike Tyson always said, you always have a plan until you get popped in the mouth.
Yeah.
Because we had everything wrote down. Just
We-
neither one of
we
us
did.
brought the right
That's
notebook
the
in.
wrong notebooks.
And we are just too old, fat, and lazy to walk back out to our truck and get the right
Well,
one.
mine's back at the farm, so I have to go back and do that.
I think mine's out in the truck.
So anyway, so we've got we've touched on the Tom Boss Center on Memorial Day weekend. We're actually going to have a program out there, so to get people out to the Tom Boss Center and show them what we've got going on out there. It's an amazing
Yes.
collection.
Yeah, it's 5009 West Beeman Lane, Rochester, 46975 is where that's located.
Okay. So
And-
we're doing that then. Of course, Redbud. Then we've got last weekend in April.
Well, this weekend coming up, March 1st, we have the Tractor Club. The Fulton County Power Association is having a fish fry.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, we got to remember these guys. The Tractor Club's done some really neat stuff out there, weren't they? They were involved with getting the Santa Claus thing set up, right?
Yeah, the Power Association, or people tend to call them the Tractor Club. They themselves took it upon themselves to build the house, the barn, that the 13 or 14-foot Santa Claus from on top of the old Indiana Metals factory he's out there. They've had it re-landscaped, and Paul Shanklin from Wilson's Towing out here in Body, he completely repainted Santa Claus and got him all cleaned up, and he's looking pretty good now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, for a 50-year-old Santa Claus, all it took was a good coat of makeup, and he's looking pretty.
And as we're looking at this next year, we're actually working on a Christmas program, if I remember right. We don't
Yeah.
have all the details ironed out yet, but
Yeah, I don't have everything figured out, but we have hoping to have Santa's Village lit up, and I've got vendors that are interested in coming in and setting up for that.
that would be fun. That would be fun. I think we've got a couple leads on some carolers also. So
You know,
that would
and
be-
then March
haven't done that for years.
you
That
know,
would be
March
awesome.
8th, which is the second Saturday every month, you have the blacksmiths out there in the red building
Another
at
really
the Sutton
solid
Turok
group.
Blacksmithing Forge.
Yeah.
They welcome anybody that wants to show up. They're always there to help us when we need it.
Yeah, and they're great. It's a great organization, great group of guys. They've just been really awesome to work with.
We got antique and collectible shows coming up here in another week.
The one on the 8th.
Yeah, and I think it's the end of next week, the 6th, 7th, 8th, I think. Something like that. I don't know exactly when, because, most of the stuff that I already own is a collectible. I just don't need to collect more. But on Friday and Saturday, I imagine it'll be during our business hours, 9 to 5, 9 to 6, something along those lines. It'd be on the north end. If anybody wants any information about anything, you can call out to the museum, 574-223-4436. Want to talk to Melinda or Peggy, they'll be able to answer questions for you.
Yeah.
Anybody has anything that are interested in helping or want to see done out at the museum, let us know. Any questions?
Yeah. If you've got anything you want us to cover on this, the Round Barred podcast, let us know also, because we can go ahead and cover that here too.
Oh, yeah. We got the Forest of Fears guys coming in for October for the
for the
what
Halloween
used to be
thing.
the Haunted Woods.
Yeah.
I got Forest of Fears from over at Akron. They're going to be coming in, setting up on our facility this year for the first time for those 3 weekends in October.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to try to have a little kids haunt up in the village, have the little haunted village up there for like 10 and under that want to go around, do a little trick-or-treat type thing and slightly get scared. That way they don't sleep the rest of the weekend for mom and dad.
Yeah.
So other than that, I think we pretty well got everything taken care of. Got Damien gone here at the school. He's helping us put this together with Brenda Gertie and
Yeah. Yeah.
Alyssa Brown.
Our quiet partner in the background.
Yeah. you know, they're helping us out quite a bit on this. So,
Cool. Well, let's see. So we've covered Red Bud. We've talked about the Tombaugh Center. Talked about some upcoming events and some changes with the museum. And I think we're pretty good till the next one.
I think we're doing good. I hope people are able to come out and see it.
Well, cool. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time.